We are currently in Georgia. Actually, we're at the end of our trip that we started, and now we made it in. Actually, I'm not even sure how many days, 5 days or 6 days.
So our trip started in Tiflis. I met Henna there.
So we are currently in Georgia, in Tusheti National Park, which is a bit more on the east side of Georgia, close to Russian border actually, in the Caucasus Mountains. Our goal was to bike pack through the Tusheti National Park.
And first day we packed our bikes, we did the setup, who is carrying what, like Henna took the tent and I took the food, and we tried to separate everything, that everyone has like equal weight.
On the first day we took the shuttle from Tiflis to Spindler, got a ride with a trailer for the bikes and then a minivan, and got up there. So we kind of skipped the boring part on the roads, so we could basically get straight into the mountains once we started biking.
It was quite nice. We started quite flat and got used to the weight of our bags.
It was really stunning right from the beginning actually. You felt like you were in a time machine getting there, and all of a sudden you were like surrounded by the mountains, and yeah, you felt unreal to be actually there and start cycling.
We actually had a pretty nice warm-up run to Utah, the last bigger village we had before we had to cross the pass. I was a bit worried about the weather before we got to our camping spot. Thunder was just around us and lightning, and that was not so nice, to be honest.
And yeah, seems like thunder coming up. Be quick, be quick. It's actually quite cool. But it's like the clouds are actually rolling. Yeah, we were lucky. It was like going from that valley and that valley, but now it's coming into that.
But yeah, we were pretty fast building up our tents. We worked actually really good as a team already. Like we just met actually, but we connected pretty well, I think, and we both knew what to do with the tent. We were pretty fast, and then it started raining quite heavily. We got into the tent, prepared our food. So yeah, first day was quite good. So second day, so that was our first hike-a-bike up to our first pass, the Chauki Pass. It started quite easy and got pretty steep.
The second day actually was somewhat the hardest for me. I woke up with a headache. We were just pushing the bikes up for 800 meters, so it didn't actually really help for the headache.
Yeah, easy part is over.
Yeah, flat part is done.
It was pretty steep, and I must say, like, pushing the bike was good for a while.
This is always like the moment you're like, whoa.
What the fuck?
Happy that I have not been going to the gym.
But then put it on the backpack. It was getting easier, but still was quite exhausting. And at that day, Henna didn't feel that well, so we took it even easier.
Okay. But it is like 700 meters of climbing already.
Yeah. It's quite heavy now. But we're almost on top.
Yeah.
We made it, and it was pretty nice to get out on the top of Chowki Pass and then overview like this really nice valley what was ahead of us. It's so exhausting during the hike, but when you reach the top and you see what's ahead of us, I totally forget how much I suffered, and that's what I actually like about it, or like the whole mountain biking thing.
I was kind of happy to make it to the top and looking forward to the downhill, but then the downhill actually turned out to be just like endless switchbacks. Oh shit. So actually like the downhill was like a pain in the ass.
We were actually expecting it to be actually nicer than it was.
So like first push your bike up, then you have a downhill you can't ride. Wasn't exactly what I was expecting. Also like then we got done with the switchbacks, then we got on the trail that was rideable, but then it started pouring rain. The downhill experience?
Awesome.
I would not recommend it. No,
Don't recommend it, but good experience.
Yeah, good experience. Maybe not like 10 out of 10 for riding, but for adventure, 10 out of 10.
10, 11.
11.
Carrying our bikes and then carrying them most of the time back down again on really many switchbacks. But in between it was fun though.
Yeah, there were actually like some short fun sections.
And now we are back on track, down to Roshka. Superb.
We were like making our way to Roshka. We actually had to get on a smaller trail. Where I then even crashed. I was like so tired by that point. That was a first proper downhill with the bike setup. So actually the handlebar backs were touching the wheel and then I fell. So it was like, yeah, the day 2 was just exhausting.
I hope they have food. Yeah.
And once we arrived to Roshka and got a guest house and got food and got a shower and got a good night's sleep, that was actually really good at that point. So I think without that, it would have been, the next day would have been a lot rougher.
So the trails we rode during our project were pretty different. Like when we crossed Chowki Pass, it was really steep at the first part, and then we had a lot of switchbacks. The problem was like that they built a pretty new trail.
Superb.
Which is actually quite nice.
I think because the amount of people is growing in the area, they're like rebuilding the trails, which is actually making the trails more approachable and sustainable for the whole area. So actually they're like putting a lot of work in for building the trails in the area.
But the switchbacks weren't that good built, and it was a really hard time for Henna as well. So we couldn't ride it pretty fluidly. So that was like semi-fun. We woke up, Henna and me, we looked out of the window and it was like pouring cats and dogs. And we were like, yeah, well, not a good start of the day. because you don't want to start in the rain. So we had breakfast in our guest house. We're always looking out of the window, checking the weather forecast, and it didn't seem to get better the whole day. And we had like a really long day ahead of us to get over the pass we were planning for. So the motivation was pretty low, I must say.
And I must admit, we felt a bit shattered knowing that we need to bike in the rain. So we just had a slow breakfast, and actually somehow miraculously the rain stopped by the time we had to start riding. Yeah, so now we're trying to actually fix what most likely caused the crash. I lost the front wheel, and I think that like when I was compressing the handlebar bags touched the wheel, and then it got stuck, and then I just like lost it and slammed. So now we're trying to put more pressure so the handlebar back would actually not be touching the wheel, which would be really nice. Yeah. I have a bit sore hip and a bit sore knees. I'm like building up the bruise collection pretty well. So far it's 2 bruises, but let's see what's
We keep it like that.
what's the number by the end of the trip.
It's definitely more than like before we had it on 60 or 70 PSI.
Yeah.
Now I put it on 110.
Yeah, so it should be plenty now. Did you actually have like full suspension bags on this?
Oh man, Henna, I wish there was actually an easier way up to Tusheti.
Yeah, we'll be down for some cheating. Then we just started riding, did first the downhill bit, which was easy, and then started doing the climb.
It also got pretty sunny and warm, so motivation got high again.
So you feel them like... That was quite a climb, pretty hard. Really?
So we cycled, it was like really nice road, not too steep, but the pass was pretty long, and we were just chatting about it, how nice it would be to just get a shuttle. And then we just looked back and heard something behind us, and then suddenly like a big old military truck showed up, and we were like, okay, let's have a try. I just put up my thumb.
And actually the truck just stopped, and they were just waving like, oh, come in and have a ride with us.
And yeah, we got a pretty nice shuttle all the way up. And the funny thing is, they let us out at the top, and they just ride all the way down again. So they actually just brought us up there and yeah, did it for us. And you saw the hospitality of the Georgian people, and it made our day.
Actually, there was some trail at the top, which was a nice surprise. We didn't know about the trail. And then just this really pleasant gravel ride down into Tusheti. I was expecting the day actually to be pretty rainy and hard. Well, eventually it turned out to be chill.
One of the best days.
Sunny and chill. It didn't rain actually at all. After we had been talking about like, oh, it's gonna be a long way up and like, it will be nice to cheese. And then the truck just like comes up.
Appeared.
It's just like,
And then thumb went out.
Thumb went out, and we get it right all the way up.
So we took a guest house again in Tusheti with a camping ground. Opposite of our camping ground were these really nice old houses and towers. So pretty nice camping spot to wake up to.
From Tusheti, then we actually knew that we have quite a mission for the next day, because we started to need to start the climb to Atunta Pass, which was the highest pass of the whole trip.
Oh my god, look at them!
So it started pretty nice and easily to the first point where we had to cross the river. And the stream was pretty strong actually, because you had to do like really wide steps not to lose your balance. When the gravel road ended and we looked up the hill where we had to push our bikes, we were just like, okay, that's shit steep.
But then we started to push the bikes up to Atunta Pass.
It was actually the steepest path we had to do from the whole trip. Like what meant like really pushing your bike up and to see how you get your steps right, that you don't slip back again. It was really exhausting and like, yeah, the hardest day actually of the whole trip. It was already quite late and we still had some way to go. It looked not that long, but it was just so long.
And yeah, it was a long night of pushing the bikes. It was absolutely stunning though. We were really tired and you saw the sun setting behind the mountains. And I think there's just something when you're actually physically tired and then you have these beautiful moments in the mountains. I think those are somehow the most powerful moments as well.
When we reached the campsite, we were just both looking back on the trek we just did, and it was so long and we were just both like, wow, we just made it. And we were really happy and proud of ourselves as well, because it was really a hard day and we just made it, and yeah, got rewarded with a pretty nice sunset and a nice overview over Georgia.
But somehow I don't feel at all tired when you're in a place like this. You're just because mostly it's like you get there and then I completely forget the whole suffering from the day.
Yeah.
And that's so worth it. Oh, nice. Long day, but so worth it. I guess it's like when you're from the Alps, so you're a bit more used to having
it, yeah.
bike, but like I have spent the whole summer in Finland, and I have not been mountain biking like anywhere outside Norway, like only a little bit in Norway.
So for Finland, you it must be even more
I've just been in a
forest.
Yeah.
So this is like, where the heck am I?
Our camp spot was on 2,900 and we got waking up from pretty heavy wind. We packed our stuff, got a quick breakfast.
We didn't actually have too much left. Like we had done most part of the hike up the previous day, but it was just like a steep as heck. Carrying the bikes up for 500 more elevation meters, and yeah, it was pretty rough when it just goes like really steep up. You definitely feel your legs already at that point, but when you could see the goal already and knowing that that's actually our last proper hike a bike section we had to do before we only had pretty much downhill to Omala.
Nice!
Yeah, I was pretty proud of myself and proud of us. Looking back what we done and the high meters, kilometers, the suffering, the teamwork we did, I was really proud of ourselves, and of course also proud of myself that I just kept going. And although we had long days and exhausting days, it was just pure fun, I must say.
I haven't been mountain biking in any higher alpine terrain at all, actually. I've been only mountain biking in Finland, and it's a lot lower terrain and basically forest trails. So actually, like, for me, it was a big achievement just like get up to like 3,500 meter passes with my mountain bike. So that was actually what I was a bit nervous about before as well. It's like, it's not even the part of getting up actually, but like how do I get down from there and how the trails are.
That was a fun trail.
Yeah.
A bit deep at times, but super fun. I think maybe best one actually.
Yeah, the best one is the
most rideable.
The most rideable ones. And also,
like
from the pass downwards, like really fun.
Yeah. So. Finally something rideable.
Yeah.
Not only switchbacks. No, that's super. And it's actually crazy to think that we just did the
Crazy
highest
hike and bike stuff.
Yeah, well. Okay, let's see where the trail goes.
Yeah.
I think it goes down by the river.
Yeah, I think so too.
Let's check it out.
Let's
go.
Ready?
Yep. That looks pretty good. Whew.
Good day.
Good day.
We expected to get a bit further, but then we realized the sun was setting behind the mountains already, so we decided to set a camp by the riverside. Yeah, so when you look at the distance we covered and also the elevation, it doesn't actually seem that much that what we did. But then when you have just a hike bike, and it's just not like hiking up the mountain, but it's like hiking up carrying your bike, and then to ride down, it's not a road to ride down, it's a trail to ride down. So this all actually takes so much longer than what you would do this thing on a gravel road. Like, you can't actually like even compare the time it takes.
Superb.
Actually, on the last part, we covered a proper amount of distance because it was easier trail, like rideable trail actually, like following the mountainside and like traversing along the mountains. We kept on riding towards Kirevi. But that trail was actually one of my favorite parts as well, where we actually then just made it by the lunchtime to enjoy a meal.
This is like the dream. Yeah.
It's like all I want at this moment.
So from Girevi on, we thought it's just downhill, which it mostly was, like nice gravel road, just always a little bit of pedaling uphill. But after Datlo, to get up to Omalo, our final goal, we had to do one more climb, and that was really exhausting because we were pretty tired already in the legs. It was just in total, I think, 400 or 500, but it felt so long, and I was just so happy as we reached the plateau of going down to Omalo. Yeah, we were pretty tired already, and the legs were pretty empty. But then again, when you reach the plateau and you know, okay, now it's just downhill, and soon as you get your khachapuri and your salad and the nice Georgian food, the whole suffering was gone again.
Finishing in Omalo actually felt also a bit surrealistic, being like, okay, are we actually done? But yeah, it felt good to be done with the trip and have survived like in one piece despite a couple crashes.
I was relieved, I was exhausted, I was so hungry, but also pretty sad that it's already over. We were riding in total 5 days, but the time went by so fast, because yeah, if you do something you love and you're so passionate about, like the time is running so quickly. So I am sad that it's already over. I could continue now.